G'day everybody and welcome to the House of Mario, the South Australian Nintendo podcast that is backed by a 120 Power Star rating. I'm your host Drew Agnew and the doors to episode 288 are open. Today on the show, we're going to be talking about the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom at the weekend to play it. So let's dive into our thoughts and opinions of it, as well as some other stuff throughout the world of Nintendo and other games we've been playing. To talk all about that is my good mate, Josh, or of course, JT if you like. Josh, how you going, mate?
Very well, Drew. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone listening. Yeah, I'm doing very well. Very well. I've had a very fun weekend playing Echoes of Wisdom. It's been, I don't know, is it the Switch's 2024 Game of the Year so far? I don't know. We'll talk about it, but enjoying it a lot so far. Yeah, with everything else going on in my life at the moment.
Yeah, so how's it been? Because it's been a couple of weeks since we've recorded. How's your running going? How's just the day-to-day operations of being old JT?
Yeah, all good. And then, for those, last week we were away. Some family stuff happening in my side. Michaela's grandma passing away, so did a they're just do with family to make sure everyone's all good and proper. So thank you, Drew, for your understanding with all that when that happened. But good. I'm in off season now, Drew. I've done no more umpiring gigs for the year. I'm all done. So it's just trying to maintain my fitness now and make sure I don't lose weight and get all fat and grubby and back on the track in January.
Just blow up over summertime.
Correct. Gained 5 kilos and have to work to lose that. Trying to avoid that, Drew. So, done a couple of runs this week. I did a 10K on Saturday before the grand final. Doing like interval, fartlek training, all that kind of stuff. So, I love it. I don't know. I've turned 30, Drew, and I've kind of gotten that running bug itch thing. So it's my personality trait now. I feel running around trying to keep moving, being active. You've
got to try and make these things your personality trait. Otherwise, How do you identify yourself? You know, you've either got to be a hardcore gamer, you've got to be a hardcore runner, and I don't know.
I'm not going to smoke butt meat. I'm not going to make my own beer. I don't want to get into any other golf. No, nothing like that. Just give me some nice shoes and an open road, and I'm just going to run on it, Drew. I'm just going to put one foot in front of the other and try and be quick about it.
Trying to be quick about it. Yeah, try and beat your time. So you go for distance, or do you go for time, or eventually you want to go for both, obviously, but what are you going for at the moment?
Yeah, so trying to build up speed. And so I've got because I've got normal games at the moment. So every Saturday, I'm trying to do park runs now. That's just 5Ks, try and, beat my time for that. So obviously do time, but to do that I need to do speed running exercises to sort of get used to a faster pace. You sort of start at a lower amount and you build up from there. So a bit of both. I just keep running. It must be so boring to other people because I know people who run blow it, don't they? But just describing it, I feel like it's you just run. It's just one foot in front of the other. So I can see how it could be so mind numbing for others.
I wonder if anyone listening to this right now is actually going for a run. Do you listen to podcasts when you run?
Yeah.
For me, sometimes I need music if I need to push myself, but I do this at work too when I'm sharing or something like that. If I'm not going to push myself, I just want to sort of coast. So distract myself just from the pain in some ways. That's when I put on a podcast.
Yeah.
Because instead of thinking about how sore my legs are, I think about how informative these hosts are, all the words coming out of their mouth into my brain. I'm like, wow, this is great. I'm learning something. If I'm not learning something, I'm at least having a good time. So maybe someone out there, we're doing that for them.
I used to do that a lot with this show, Drew. House of Mario before I was on the show. At the gym and running around, and I used to love having you in my ears, buddy, as I walked around and got some sun.
Yeah, I guess it's something you don't really get anymore. You don't really get me in your ears. I guess except for right now when I'm talking to you.
little bit different, but I like it this way. Don't you worry, mate.
Yeah. Well, we have each other's phone number. If you ever, tell you what, I'm feeling a bit nostalgic for whenever I used to listen to Drew. Just give me a phone call while you're going for a jog, and I'll just I'll read one of Lucas's books to you.
Sounds good.
So I've got something to say.
Yeah, make some more iDruby Gaming Cast podcast episodes for me to listen as well, mate, and I can do that as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I've it's sort of fallen off. We had that bad weather, and then I started doing sharing and crutching work again. So the time sort of depleted a bit from there. But yeah, I've got plenty to talk about. Been playing a lot of stuff. Been doing a lot of things in the world of gaming. So yes, I've got to get back to that for sure.
Yeah, no, do it. So what's been the main thing for you, keeping you busy in life?
In life, just work, family, of course, all of that. Been playing a lot, paying a lot of attention to, we talked about it last time, a couple of weeks ago, but the PlayStation side of things with the Pro and the 30th edition stuff going up. Been trying to get my hands on that. Here in Australia, for those, across the seas, we had two retailers to try and get the consoles. One, EB Games, just offered it to their top 10,000 best customers, which I was not a part of. I have been a part of that. I have been a level 5 member at EB Games before.
Really?
Yeah, it was the launch year of PlayStation 5 and Series X. Since I bought them both, it put me spent a bit of money, so it put me up there.
Points, yes.
Yeah, so got a few points through that, but I didn't get any benefit from it that year. Like, I didn't really use it. Like, you don't really get anything, but
it's just temporary, isn't it? It's just for a year, then you're done.
Just for a year, then you go back to level 4, which is fine.
I hate it so much.
I don't mind it. It's
really,
it's
I don't know. It just seems so.
I mean, it doesn't do anything for me. But on your birthday, you get $10 to use. I'm like, cool.
Don't you get that anyway? I get $10 anyway on my birthday.
Are you a level 4 member at
4.
EB Games? Yeah, that's right. Well, the same thing. We got the same perks. We got no privileges over each other here, Josh. We're the same person pretty much.
Yeah, we are.
Yep, just the same person to EB Games. Just a consumer, just coming in and just gobbling up that plastic. But yeah, so the only way really to try and get it is through JB Hi-Fi, which is basically doing a ballot system where you say what items from the 30th year anniversary you want, and you'll be picked. So I'm waiting to the 4th to see if my ballot was picked, and I got a few friends to put in for me because they have no interest in spending $1,600 on a PlayStation 5 Pro, which is fair enough. But
I mean, yeah,
I want to get a Pro anyway, and making it it's limited edition. It's always nice, harkening back to retro, whether it's on the Nintendo side or on the PlayStation side with those coloured sacred symbols and that on the controllers. And I do have the controllers pre-ordered. I did manage to get that. I was there 9:30, just like trying to get the controllers, and I didn't want a normal controller. I just wanted to get the Edge, like their stupidly expensive controller, just because I actually want to use it. So I couldn't get it, so I pre-ordered a normal controller, and then eventually my Edge did go through, so I got both. See how we go.
Both in 30th anniversary colours.
Yes. Yes. So
did and the pre-orders to the chrome, green, blue, and white ones, they're not out yet, are they? That wasn't that.
No, I don't think so. Yeah, they showed them in the recent State of Play. Did they catch your eye? Is that why you're asking?
The green one did. I do like the green, but it's so many. I've just got the Astrobot one, Drew, and I'm good. Like, I've got 3 controllers now, PS5 ones.
Yeah.
I could maybe get one more eventually, but not anytime soon. God, I've got to restrain myself, Drew. It's too much too soon.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
For me, anyway.
You just got to justify it in your own head. It's like a little bit like the girl math in some ways, but
yeah,
you just got to go out and make more friends and invite them over and be like, hey, look. And then actually say, hey, do you want to play PlayStation? It's like, not really, mate. Come on, come on, please.
I don't know what 4-player game I would offer them to play on my PlayStation. Like Nintendo Switch, I'd just be like, this, you can do this, we can do up to 8 here. I'd just be all over it, but a bit different with my PlayStation. Yeah,
for sure. Whenever people come over, it's always the Switch for me. Just, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think more recently though, for my birthday, we actually did have the PlayStation out a bit. We were playing Mortal Kombat and Nidhogg. I've actually got on Switch and PlayStation, but whatever controller we've got in our hand at the time, we can play Nidhogg 2 on. I love Nidhogg and Nidhogg 1. It's just like the most fun not co-op, but local multiplayer game. Have you ever played Nidhogg?
No.
Oh,
never.
dude, it's so good. Like the first one, it's like very simple graphics. You just like got a sword and you've got to get your player to one end of the screen. So obviously one player's got to go all the way to the left, the other player's got to go all the way to the right. And it's just like about basically fencing in some ways. And then the second game added a bunch more weapons, and there's like a weapon triangle that but will, I guess, basically have like weaknesses and strengths over other weapons, and you can utilize that as well. And it's got a really like wacky, gross art style that you might expect for something like Ren and Stimpy or something. I don't know. It was just so much fun, dude. Cool. I back in the day, I watched like Kind of Funny or somebody play it, and I had so much fun watching it. And then I played it myself, and I had so much fun playing it. It's one of my favorite multiplayer games. That isn't a Nintendo game. Yeah. Because usually it's just like for like all my years of gaming, it's just like Smash and Mario Kart. Like it's just just what we do.
So simple.
Yeah. I think to a lot of my friends who weren't like big Nintendo fans, they're like, oh come on, we're not doing more Smash. I'm like, come on.
No Smash again.
You know you want to.
And you're so good at it as well. So you pass them the controller and they're just like, we're about to get fucked up here by Drew and his move sets and just gonna own me straight away.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, you come to a party, it's like, this guy loves it. He plays it just to relax before bed or whatever. And then it's like the other person who's like never played it. Who just plays it like in social settings. Like, I play Smash. It's just a fun social game to play. I'm like, Smash is life. Thank you very much.
Smash is a way of life,
disrespect.
Man. It's a new denomination of the church. Smash Bros. It's
it is the church. Everybody. I'm not Christian or anything, but my faith is Smash.
Smash is life.
Yeah, Master Hand is God. I was thinking about Smash Brothers recently, like with all the Switch 2 sort of the hype building up, and a lot of like a new Nintendo console is thinking about like the next lineup, the next iteration of major franchises.
Ooh.
And when it comes to Smash Brothers, like for the first time, I'm content. I'm good. I don't know what they can do because from Brawl to Wii U, I'm like, I cannot wait for a HD Super Smash Brothers. And then moving from Wii U to Switch, it's like I cannot wait to have that Super Smash Brothers better with more characters in a handheld mode and like pro controller and just all the niceties that come with Switch. And now I'm sort of like just a more beefier Switch. It doesn't really... is just technical stuff alone. It's got Sakurai's got his work cut out for him. He's kind of done it. He's done it. It's just the single player content. I'd like to see that beefed up. Trophies return, but that's kind of it. Like, there's not really, there's not really much.
I really can't think of anything. Like, I don't know. If they announced a new one for launch year of Switch 2, I don't know how excited I'd be unless like it's some really extra cool new mode or different thing they've done or some really cool new characters. But I'm with you, man. Like, I think it's pretty content on Ultimate because it's all in the name, isn't it? It's got everything, all the characters anyway, and all the maps. I think bring poker floats back. But just so much has gone into that game. I just are they like, is he even working on the new one right now, do you think, or is he done, or what's going on then?
I don't know. I think recently on his YouTube channel, Sakurai, he wrapped up the videos. They've been pre-recorded and the last one came out. It seems to be that, all right, he's going back to work. He's working on something. So he doesn't have the time for his YouTube channel. So I don't know.
Okay.
You never know.
Maybe.
It's hard to know with him because he doesn't have to work, but he's just so passionate and knowledgeable that he can sort of do what he wants. So if he wants to make a Smash Brothers, he can. And if he doesn't, he will make something else. Like, he can go anywhere, that man. He can do what he wants. Just, But I would like to see another one, but it's up to the creative minds at Nintendo to sort of work out what I want because kind of did it. In some ways, I might take the parrying out. I'm so bad at it. I got way worse at Smash Brothers when like parrying the shields became like a technique you need to utilize a bit more. But apart from that, apart from my skill and my lack of being able to adapt to a new mechanic, don't know what I'd want.
Yeah.
Don't know. But
Sure.
Anyway, we'll have plenty of time to talk about Switch 2 and stuff. It's just it's on the tip of our tongues. We just can't help it. I know that don't want to talk about rumors, don't want to talk about this or that necessarily, but it's just so exciting. Like,
yeah, it is. It's Drew. Within the next 6 months, we will know what the Switch 2 is.
Well, we'll definitely know. But do you think we'll have it?
No.
No, I don't think we'll have it. No, that's optimistic, isn't it?
No, I don't think it'll be far after that. I really think maybe March, but yeah, April, May, June. That's what I'm thinking.
Release it on my birthday in June. That'd be good.
Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Is that a good time to release a console in June? Like
winter here, summer over there. I don't know. I think maybe
summer holidays seems an awful time to release a console. Yeah. Worst time in the year probably, but
I mean, it makes sense for them to do March again because it was just nothing else was really happening at the time, know, and you still get the bump of the Switch obviously for this year, and then March comes around and you get that bump straight away. When they did it in 2017, like early on in March, the 3rd of March, like that was, part of their, last quarter financial year results. And so they could, got some pretty good help because the Wii U was so bad. March of 2017 helped bring some much needed cash flow to Nintendo. So, March to May makes a lot of sense, I feel.
Yeah, I think that it makes a lot of sense as well because like the enthusiasts will line up, pre-order it, buy it, fight each other, scalpers, all of that type of thing. But then it's like the whole year people can buy it at their own will, but then it sort of lets them build up to Christmas time. And
correct.
then like all the families and all of that. So it's not just all of those people at once, where it's like the 30-year-old nerds like us fighting like the 5-year-old kids.
Man.
And
just... I will push you out of the way to get one day one, man. I will, yep, you'll be cut. I'm getting one.
No one is safe. No one is
Correct.
safe. There's like the 50, the 40, the 30-year-old men trying to get this bright console with a brand new Mario Kart on it.
Yeah, push in front of Harry, the 8-year-old kid who's so keen because he's just gotten recently into his Switch, and there's even better one now. He wants that one for Christmas. Like, no, get out of the way, kid.
He's got his.
You don't know Nintendo like I do.
He's got his piggy bank full of money just going to the shop, and you push him over, it smashes on the ground.
Yes,
coins scatter everywhere.
That's great. He's going to be distracted picking that up, then I'll just sweep in and get his pre-order done.
Get his pre-order even, Jesus.
Yep, I'm Harry.
Not even just get the leftover stock. You're like, my name's Harry. Yep. So I don't see why you would lie about that one. Yep, here it is.
Yeah, here you go.
It's already paid off too.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh dear. All right. We don't have to worry about a new system just yet because we've actually got a game, Josh. We've still got games on Switch. Who would have thought? Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. It's on Metacritic at the moment at an 80, or I guess a 8.7. So pretty good. Critics have been liking it. I've been staying away from most reviews just because I don't really need to know. I'm sure it's good. I don't really want it to like rub off onto how I feel about the game, both negative or positive. So yeah, I've been staying away. I've heard like a couple of people mention it on podcasts and things like that. Obviously, I listen to a lot of that type of thing, but Josh, I guess over the weekend and since the game came out, what have you been thinking about the game?
Just firstly, I think the 86 is underdone. I think it deserves more than that from my playtime so far. I think if I look at other Legend of Zelda games, it's quite low in terms of its Metacritic. So just my first thought on that. So I think it should hit 90 at least, but that's fine. We need some more professional reviewers bumping up the score. I can't comment on it because I've only I played it for a couple of hours, beat the first dungeon, so I've got no. I can't say that it should be higher or lower. I guess it doesn't really matter, but I think I think maybe the criticism might come just from like when I play Zelda, I just want to hit things with a sword, and this is pretty different, and it'll work for some people, and it won't work for other people. I think that's probably where a lot of it comes from, but almost a 9, just universally across the board. That's
It's a pretty good damn score, Josh. That's,
Oh, it is.
that's still like an amazing game.
For sure. It's a great score. And Grezzo has done an amazing job with this. What they had done the port work of Link's Awakening to make that the 3D beautiful looking game that we got on Switch a few years ago. And, this is their first original title for Legend of Zelda, and they've given it a great go. And this is phenomenal. This is a really fun time of what, we get with Tears of the Kingdom last year in terms of, that customization, bringing things to life, doing the weird and wacky things in the top-down Zelda 2D kind of world. And it's this beautiful mashup that makes this game so unique to all the others. And it's just been really, really fun. I just, I've played probably 6 hours, I reckon, by now, and just really sort of just enjoyed just exploring around, trying things out. Michaela and I are at different stages, and she'll watch me solve something, and she's laughing because, like, I've done something completely different to how she solved a puzzle. And she got mad at one time because I did something straight away, like with a spider web going upwards, and she's like, "Oh my god, why didn't I think of that?" And just like,
oh yeah, the 2D section.
Sorry,
when you first get is it the 2D section when you first get that power?
There was one there. There was another case where I used it, and it was just like, why didn't I think of that? Because I think it felt obvious to use it once you got it straight away, but then in later stages, like, why I could have used it again, and didn't think it happened.
You sort of forget about it.
Yeah, that kind of thing. So, and it's just fun to play around with it all. But I definitely get the critique people would have with the sword, because sometimes you're versing enemies and it's a lot slower trying to defeat them without the sword. You obviously do have sword fighter mode and you can use it. I've always, my playthrough so far, I've been trying to be a little bit more protective of not trying to overuse it, because it's limited and you need the crystals to recharge it, all that kind of stuff. And so I do use it sparingly, so that's when it's a bit more of a simple monster to beat. Even that can take a little longer sometimes, because it might be a flying animal and you're activating bats or something to try and attack it, because that's something that flies as well, and it just takes a little longer. Little things like that I can see could be something that could frustrate a Zelda pro. Yeah.
It's fun. I guess in some ways, like, sometimes it does take, like, if you've just got like a rock or something, like, I'm throwing this rock, but there's some that I've got, even at the start, like, very start of the game, where I'm like, oh my god, this like just sort of mows down enemies. I got like the flying plant that like just spins with its razor blades.
How good!
Like, Jesus Christ! I just send that out and just
I need to use it more.
Just kills them really quick. So I was using that quite a bit, just to sort of like just throw it out on a horde of enemies, and it just takes them all down. I'm like, yeah, right. This is even if I was Link with my sword, with my bow and arrow, everything, I'm like, I don't know if I would have been able to do it much quicker than with this. So it opens up like a lot of like combat possibilities and all that, which is pretty cool. Was a little, I won't say what it is, but I'm sure a lot of people at this point who are interested in this conversation would have gotten to the point. But the first boss, how it sort of encourages you to use the sword mode, where I'm like, I wish it sort of like it sort of focused more on, using Zelda's echoes, rather than just like, hey, look, you can just spawn stuff and you can whittle it down, but it really does encourage you, even to the point where it's just like it's filling your bar right up again after you like use your sword. So you're basically not running out. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I know I could have like, all right, I'm going to summon this guy here to throw a spear, and I can do a rock and I can throw it, but that's not what the game's asking me to do, and it's definitely not the quickest way or the most beneficial way. So I was like, I kind of would like to, I hope the bosses going forward in the game will have like, your typical Zelda weaknesses where you say like, oh look, it's got a big eyeball, I've got to shoot it in the eye, but actually really utilize those echoes to do it, rather than just being like, all right, let's just go into sword fighter mode and mow it down that way. But yeah, I've got a lot more of the game to go, but yeah, just as my inkling from the first boss. But as far as the game goes, I really enjoyed just exploration, going through the game. It's I love these top-down Zelda games, just exploring, collecting everything, seeing like the heart pieces, working out how to get up there. And this game adds, with the echoes, it adds just more things to collect, which is really cool. Because when you see like an enemy, you're like, oh, I can have you. It's kind of like Pokemon in some ways, where you see something cool, you're like, huh, I can. You look strong. I'm gonna put you in my pocket and take you to the gym.
Yeah.
You can do this this in that game, which is just really cool. Like when you do like the side quest, you come across that flying plant, and you're like, oh wow, that looks pretty. That's big. I'm gonna utilize that pretty well, I reckon.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
Yeah. So
love it.
Yeah, adds a good amount of just stuff to collect and stuff to do in this game, which I quite enjoy. Collecting, I guess, the triangles, which allow you to have more echoes, whether it's bigger echoes or just more on the field at a time. Quite like that as well. So there's like a fair few things to upgrade, as well as like, I guess, the level for the sword fighter ability as well. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff going on, which I'm really liking, and just the whole thing of playing as Zelda. Quests. Yeah, which is really cool. Yeah, I'd like to play it a little bit more. Just didn't play it much over the weekend, but certainly played it the night it came out, and really enjoyed my time. But we shall see as we go forward.
Yeah, it's I'm just seeing things online of just people hacking this game and like, you know, attaching the wind thing to them so they can traverse the map faster. You know, I'm just getting distracted by the map, just exploring around, because it's just fun to see what else is out there. And I found like 3 of the acorn dudes. You got to find all of them within a certain time limit, and you get prizes for that. Just fun to do that. The stamp guy. Have you seen the stamp guy yet, Drew?
I've not seen the stamp guy.
I won't ruin that for you, but he's fun. He's a good time. I think I'm enjoying the idea that there's more than one way to solve a puzzle. And so, because there's moments in the Zelda game, it's especially a top-down, or any Zelda game outside of the open world ones, I feel, where you got to do a really specific thing. And like you got to talk to this certain person at this moment in time and do this thing. And unlock something over here, and it's a bit cryptic, and you don't really know what's going on, and always like I don't know. I found those moments are just like annoyingly frustrating sometimes, because like I don't know, like how was I meant to know that was the thing?
Yeah,
I think we've had that in Minish Cap before.
Yeah, Minish Cap. I was about to say Minish Cap. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, so like I haven't found that yet with this game so far. Like there's multiple ways to solve something, so like in a way it's easier, I suppose, but at the same time I think you get that joy that you try something and it works and it solves the puzzle, and you get to progress. And I think that's a cool like clicking moment. Like yeah, my idea sort of paid off. I thought of something really different, and it worked. And so much like Tears of the Kingdom, where you had that whole ability to create anything, put things together, and if it works, it works, and you know you feel really somewhat proud of what you've done and created. So similar things here with the echoes.
Yeah, it's really interesting, just like the design philosophy behind what Zelda's become, because not only did it become open world, obviously this game isn't like truly open world like the previous games on Switch were, but just the fact that the whole idea of solving a puzzle is now non-linear, and that's across like that is like the philosophy going forward when it comes to games. Whether you can do dungeons in any order you want or anything like that doesn't matter. The whole thing of just like, how do you get up there? Do you stack this? Do you do a jump? Like whatever it is, it's just it makes the games. It gives you a lot more of that aha moment, which Zelda's always done. It's always been like, oh, I worked it out, and you get that little do-do-do-do-do-do. And you're like, oh yeah, it's just like a good feeling. But like in Breath of the Wild, where you've got that ball maze and you're doing the motion controls, trying to get it through. But you can do that. You can just solve the maze through the ball, get it to where it needs to go. Door opens, awesome. But you can also like flip it over, just so you can just skip the whole maze and you just go on the flat bottom.
Yeah.
And for me as well, I was in bed when I was trying to solve that puzzle back almost 8 years ago with Breath of the Wild.
Yep.
And I was using the one Joy-Con. I'm like, I'm not sitting up to do this puzzle. So I just like waggling my Joy-Con. And what it sort of did is it sort of like lobbed the ball up and smacked it like a bat. And it just went boom, boom, and smacked it exactly where it needed to go and went into the hole.
So
I'm like,
good.
You've got to be joking.
Yeah.
But the game allows you to do that. You can be really methodical. You can do it how the developers like probably think you should do it. And yeah, that's just gone forward even to today, where Grezzo is in charge of this game, and their whole philosophy with the echoes and everything are doing a very similar thing, which is cool. It's great for like you and Michaela playing together. How you can be like, all right, how'd you solve it? Like, oh, I didn't do it that way, which is really cool. Which is really awesome.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
So yeah, I'm looking forward to playing more of this game. It's gonna be good. I kind of today I was kind of like, oh, I've got to do the podcast. I kind of want to play. Maybe I should just get Josh on Discord call and we just play together.
Oh, that's tempting.
It was tempting. It was tempting to say that, but
the people need to know what we think, Drew, and so that's why we're here.
They have to. Imagine if they didn't know. No, I think we feel, I guess, how the general Nintendo fan feels. The Zelda game that just came out is good. It's quite good.
It's great. And then we've gotten it probably a year or so earlier than we would have thought. This top down, like we just had a brand stinking new Zelda middle of last year. It hasn't really even been a month and a year and a half, and we get another one here. So it's getting the 3D one and the 2D top down both within such a short period of time is pretty cool. So yeah, it's great. I just love all these. I just love I was thinking about that the other day as well. I love the fact that we're getting hopefully regular top down Zeldas now on top of the 3D ones, and hopefully like with Metroid Dread and then Metroid Beyond. Like I just like this is great. And we had Wonder last year. Obviously we're the 3D Mario next year probably. It's just like both can exist and complement each other. And I like both types of these big Nintendo IPs. Big 3D entries, and then the other 2D ones that sort of are great in their own right as well. So yeah, I just love that they're making these games like this and keeping us entertained.
Yeah, me too. Because they give you different feelings when you play them. Like,
oh, for sure.
Very different experience playing this to Tears of the Kingdom. They're both good in their own right. But you mentioned about like, I guess consistency when it comes to like these games coming out. I'll just say enjoy Echoes of Wisdom because I don't think we'll get another one for a while.
Unless they remake, I don't know, Link to the Past. Could they do that in this style? Don't know if it needs it.
Oh no, I think A Link to the Past is like one of those games you just never touch.
Just leave it as is.
Yeah, like maybe widescreen it. Yeah, maybe, but or if you really want to go all out, do like a HD 2D remake, like what Square Enix do. But you never make it 3D. Like I don't know.
There's a reason a lot of those Super Nintendo games have never really been remade. It's because they look pretty damn good as they are.
Yeah. Like, it seems blasphemous, like, going to, like, Mario Brothers 3 or World or Link to the Past, Super Metroid. Like, just don't touch them. Like, you're not going to make them look better, to be honest. Unless, like, worse, like I said, just widescreen it. I think that's kind of what you do. Like, but, like, stuff like the next generation, when you get to Mario 64 and Ocarina of Time and that, you can remake them every generation.
Oh, God, yeah.
Just, why not?
Yep.
Well, I know why not, because that's right.
Yeah.
You mentioned at the start of the show, actually, you said, oh, is this like the game of the year Nintendo wise? And it's a little bit hard, it's a little bit unfair because this is like one of the only original games and it is a Zelda game, so it's going to take priority over just development time and fans time and everything when it comes to that.
That's why I said it.
It's a little bit rough. It's like, oh, what stands a chance more, like this game or another Code Recollection or MEO or any of these games?
For me, we've got Jamboree next month. I love Mario Party and then Brothership. So they're the top four really, because everything else has been a remake or Princess Peach Showtime. So
yeah, I tell you what, Princess Peach Showtime is not even close. Not even close.
It's fine. Not a top game for me. But others it has been though, so and that's great. But not for me.
Has it been for others? Who are you talking to? Is like, oh, Princess Peach Showtime. That was a.
I don't know. Let's listen to other Nintendo podcasts. I think NBC the other day mentioned it. One of their panelists liked it, so there's fans.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's great. I'm glad someone did.
Yeah.
I liked it, but then when the other 8 hours of the game happened, I'm like, Christ, mighty.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it's still been a pretty good year overall.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been a fine year.
Content.
I'm content as well. It's definitely the quantity's been there. The quality's been high enough.
Yes.
Really. Yeah. It's I think Zelda though, it has a pretty easy slot to slide into. And it also depends on the I guess Mario and Luigi brothership as well. How good that game turns out. It's from a studio that hasn't made one of those games before.
Alpha Dream out of the picture now.
Yeah, because Ilka, so that's the team behind Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Not my favorite Pokemon games. I'm definitely not happy with how they handled that one.
It's the worst mainline Pokemon game out there, isn't it, Drew? It's the worst remake.
Oh yeah, it's the worst remake. It probably is. Like I enjoyed it for what it was because Diamond and Pearl's a really nostalgic game for me, and I enjoyed it. But just like they added nothing, and they kind of made it look worse. And I don't know. But they also did that One Piece game as well. I'm not a One Piece fan. I can't talk to like the story and everything that they put into it. But that game graphically looked really nice. And they ported it to the Switch, I think, this year or maybe late last year. But yeah, they did a good job on that one. So I'm like, maybe it was a Pokemon Company thing. And yeah, that's sort of where I'm sort of leaning to with that one. So hopefully, brothership turns out well because I want the Mario and Luigi series to continue on. I don't want it to like have a second chance here and fall into a heap again.
Yeah,
so hopefully it continues on.
Review well and sell well.
Yeah. Yeah, because like looking at the game, it looks. I like the art style, but it also looks like a little bit undercooked as well. I don't know if that's just like a still in production thing or a Switch thing. It could be a Switch thing as well, but that's not necessarily true when it comes to I guess Nintendo games. They usually are optimized pretty well for the system. So yeah. Don't know. We still got some things to look forward to, Josh, which is good.
Definitely. No, I'm not even done with Echoes. Still only portion of the way in.
That's right. I've barely even started it as well.
Yeah.
What's the next thing, Josh? I've played 2 hours of this one. What's the next one?
Yeah. Consumerism at its finest, eh?
Yeah,
so good.
Consumerism. Yep. No.
Love it.
Us gamers will never be satiated.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you drew with your 10th PlayStation 5 controller.
Oh, look, we've got a couple to get rid of, Josh.
Yes, you're selling some, so that's fine.
Yeah. We've got some things to fund. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I bet. Yep. For sure.
Yeah.
You think you'll get one? Do you think you'll get a 30th PlayStation 5 Pro?
Oh, well, the chances are not good. Because I don't know how many systems Australia would get because there's only 1,200 worldwide.
12,300.
Yes.
So, I'm like, because like Australia's 26 million people, not a lot, and then a lot of it's going to go to the States. Big chunk's going to go to Europe. Sorry,
I reckon we would have got like 100
more than that. I reckon more than that.
Oh, you reckon more? Okay.
Yep. I'm going to do population of Western world. I reckon Australia would do okay-ish. I think we get more than we should get.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, we just get them all. So we've all just got them down here.
All right. So it's about 900 million. Is that all for developed Western world? I'm going to round it up to 1 billion. Sorry, I'm just doing maths while I talk live. That's probably not great.
I'm just thinking through it. So what's the math you're trying to work out? You're gonna like divide
trying to work out how big the Western world is, and Australia's population in proportion to that.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to say that
3%. So I'm going to do 3% times the 12,300. Okay. 369. I'm going to go with 400 PlayStation 5 Pros.
400. You reckon we're going to get that?
I reckon EB gets 200 and JB Hi-Fi gets 200.
No way, dude. No way we get that many.
You don't reckon that many? Did Game? Was there any other retailers get any in Australia?
No.
It's just those two.
Yeah, I reckon these companies, panda's the wrong word, but they cater themselves so hard towards America. It's not even funny, and rightfully so. They've got way more people, way more people over there, that make up like Australia, New Zealand, all of this part of the world. So I don't blame them, but yeah, I think they would have got the vast majority, and then like the scraps go out to Australia, New Zealand, I don't know, Brazil, Mexico, I don't know, the rest of the place.
Yep.
So yeah, not looking good. I don't really like this method of things. Like, if Nintendo like celebrate their past and do a special edition, whatever, I hope they just make it and put it out there and do their Joy-Cons, because you can't even get like the plates for the PS5.
No,
so, a little bit rough.
Yeah, yep. It's crazy. It's a lot of Yeah, I think it comes at an interesting time because the Pro, and I think this is another way for them to beef it up because it creates a bit of hype and hysteria for people wanting
100%
a
works.
console.
It worked.
And then, okay, that's not there. I'm just going to buy a normal PS5 Pro, and that's how that works.
It is, yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you put in the JB ballot for a Portal. Are you going to still go for the Portal?
I did do it, and then I looked at the price, and I realized it's $30, $40 more, I think, or $30 or $40 more than the standard retail. And then JB's got a sale on the Portal standalone, the normal one for $299, which is $30 off. So I don't know. I'll assess it if I win the ballot, but I don't know, probably not. Do you want mine, or did you register for everything?
No, I just did the ballot for the big boy.
Yep.
I don't want to get an email. Well, I will use it. Yeah, 100% will use it.
Yeah,
because I do not have like the funds. But all right, I'm going to stash this away and just while the idea of stashing away a Pro and just playing on my base PS5 is just like that'd be it. I don't know. I don't know why that'd make any sense to me. I don't care about making an extra few grand over the next few years just by keeping it up. I want to use it. I'm a gamer. I'm a PlayStation fan. I want to have it. I want to play it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a collector just for collector's sake. I want to use my stuff. Yeah.
But you keep the box and everything.
Oh yeah, I'll keep the box and that because, well, I did it. I had a limited edition Xbox One S. It was like the Minecraft edition, and they're clearing them out at Target for like $300. I'm like, oh no! So I picked it up for real cheap at the time.
Yeah.
And I kept the box and everything. I didn't use the controller because I didn't need a little green creeper controller. I didn't really need that.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm not a Minecraft guy, but the console was cool because on the back it had the lava and all of that. You could see it see through on the console. It's a really well done limited edition. And when the Series X came out, I sold it for I think maybe $50 more than I bought it for. I didn't want the idea of just trying to double the price of some of these items. Just grosses me out. I kind of want to pass it on, but it basically meant that I didn't lose money on it just because of what it was, which I was happy with, and I could put it towards the Series X. And I could imagine this one's probably special enough where I probably would never sell it, but say if I needed the money for a PS6 or whatever have you for the upgrade in the future, if anything, it will probably go up in value. So that's the only situation. But no, I want this stuff to actually use it. So
that's good.
I'm a PlayStation fan. I want to play it on it. Same as limited edition Switches and all of this. I want to play them, not just look at them in the box. It's the same for all these systems. But
fair.
That's why scalpers just really frustrate me because it's there's someone out there who just really loves the brand, wants to play on it, wants to, but can't just because
Scalper's
someone.
Dream, though. like limited quantities, so much hype. It's people are gonna it's one of those. It's just gonna go up so much in value. Those things later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just perfect thing. I'm sure like the Facebook groups for scalpers incorporated were like, oh shit, this shit out.
Yeah, that's funny.
Especially since like the scalpers are so organized as well. Like they've got like probably bots and everything ready to go, and someone who's just like there with their phone, like, can I scroll quick enough to pick one up? I don't know. Because like even to get the controllers, I had like my phone and my iPad tethered together, and I had I'm on both trying to get them. So that's all the controllers. But yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
crazy.
Enough of that stuff. Josh, you been playing anything else?
No. A little bit of Astrobot and Castlevania Dominus Collection before Echoes of Wisdom came out, but not really with the week we've had. It was pretty just like one session I think it was. So
how you going with Astrobot?
Sorry?
How you going with Astrobot?
Decently. I'm up to like the 5th or 6th system. I've collected over half of the bots, so I'm getting there. So I'm over halfway through the game. I just got to find the time now with Echoes of Wisdom, taking it all up and get back to it and finish it off. So that's been super fun. And then I saw the state of play last week, and saw that there's more DLC coming, free updates, so extra bots and things to do. Like I'm just more I play this more like I'm ready for the next 3D Mario. I'm ready for this on similar Nintendo hardware in terms of power and what that can deliver and bring, because it's been way too long.
I cannot wait for those time trials and more bots to collect in the update. It's going to be so much fun because in a playroom it has friend leaderboards as well, which was like, oh, someone's beaten me, and they're going to be adding it to this game, which is going to be really cool. So can't wait to jump into that. And I see that they're adding Eve from Stellar Blade as well. So excited about that.
That's right.
I guess I'm going to use that as a bit of a cheeky segue to what I've been playing. And over the last couple of weeks, I've finally beaten Stellar Blade, and
well done.
It's one of my favorite games this year. It's my second favorite game. I really enjoyed it.
Ever.
for the year.
Okay.
Not ever. I don't know. I don't know where it would be on my all-time favorite game list. Who knows? It could be on there. Could be in the top 100. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Don't know. Josh, you've opened I was going to say a book of worms, but no, that's not the saying. A bag of worms. There we go. Can of worms. Saying's coming to my head, but it's not coming in right.
It was close enough. I got what you meant, and that's always the main thing.
Yeah. But yeah, Stellar Blade was awesome. I think once the combat system really sunk in with me and I got used to it and I actually got locked into boss fights, it made me think like, oh, this is why people love Souls games. Do I really want a hard game to just beat me in? No. But I can see why people just get locked in and really looking at their enemy, comes in, do a parry, you're just doing this big long section of timed parries, then it sort of whittles down your enemy's shield, and then that's when you go and attack. You can do different combos and everything. Yeah. And just how stylish the game is, it's just a feast for the eyes, and the soundtrack as well was just phenomenal. There was one particular boss which kicked my ass, by the way, one of the hardest bosses in the game. But the soundtrack was just so good. It was like a sort of like a K-pop sort of remix thing. I don't know how to explain it, but it sounded so good. Every single time, I died, and then it started up again. And then it was just it was amazing. And the state of play as well. Just going back to that, I guess after I beat the game, I was checking on Apple Music. It's the Stellar Blade soundtrack on this thing, and there was they had a little EP with 8 songs. I'm like, it's not quite what I'm after, but state of play. I said, all right, the full soundtrack is now on streaming services. So that was actually one of my most exciting announcements from the state of play on the PlayStation side. I'm like, oh, sweet, I can listen to the soundtrack and go straight to that boss theme, listen to that boss theme. And yeah, it was just, it was a great game. I loved how the story turned out as well. Because when I was talking about the game on the podcast earlier, I was like, there's a lot of like just terminology. I don't know what the fuck they're on about. Like, it's just one of those games that drop you into it and they're talking about Natibas and just Earth and the war and all these, things we've been going. I was like, what the fuck are you on about? And at the start, but towards the end of the game, once you sort of understand the world and what's happened and who certain creatures and people and characters are, it's like, oh, it was really, really quite interesting, and what the game sort of represents towards the end was really great. And it actually gave, at the end of the game, it gives you a choice between what you can do, and that affects the ending, affects who the final boss is. I'm like, huh. So I was like, I picked what I thought would be the best ending for me, and it turned out to be the right choice. I'm like, cool. Go straight to YouTube, go and check out the other ending. And I'm like, oh, it's a bit iffy. But no, it was a really great game. So yeah, my second favorite game of the year, just actually just under Astrobot. So
cool.
Bit of a PlayStation start of the list there, which is I was going to say surprising. It's not really.
Probably not this year. Probably not surprising this year. Because next year is going to be quite different, I'm sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have some plumbers in there probably.
Yes. How's so I don't see a lot around Stellar Blade. I'm in my Nintendo bubble probably, but how's this in terms of a series for PlayStation? Is it exclusive to the PS5? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is exclusive to PlayStation. In the credits, there's so many people just on the technology side, QA side at PlayStation who have worked on this, but it seems like PlayStation actually do a fair bit of work on third-party games. So yeah, this is an exclusive. It's coming to PC, but
console exclusive.
Yeah, PlayStation, they don't own like the IP rights or anything. So I got no idea. It could come to Xbox one day, but certainly PlayStation and Sony have had their hand in this game just from development and QA. So don't know. Yeah, it might never come. It might come in a few years. It might come tomorrow. I don't know. But it's definitely coming. It's definitely coming to PC. And I'd love to see more of this game. I think the story ended up in a really interesting way, and it can continue going on and continue on that way. Sure. Next game I want to talk about. I beat the Plucky Squire. This is a game I would put in the same category as Princess Peach Showtime. And I was looking forward to this game when it got announced at a Nintendo Direct. Just James Turner's artwork is just so striking, so cute, colourful.
Looks beautiful.
Just looks stunning, and the whole sort of mechanic of jumping out of a storybook into 3D, I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
And it had my attention from that very moment. But actually playing the game and utilizing that mechanic over a 10-hour span, it wore out its welcome probably within like the first couple of hours. And it's a game that the story, it was interesting enough. It was quite sweet. It's the whole idea of you play as a little character called Jot, and he's always the hero of the book, but I forgot the name of the wizard, but the evil wizard, he works out that they are in a story, and he's able to manipulate the storybook and force Jot out. And Jot and his friends have to basically come back into the book and defeat the evil wizard to take back the storybook. Otherwise, kids across the land, they won't have their hero and they won't be inspired to do creative things and all this. And it's got quite a sweet story with a boy called Sam who you are in his bedroom, and you're sort of going around his desk and things like that, and you see the effects of, I guess, the storybook on his everyday life, how he loves Jot, but then when Jot gets erased, everything goes dark, and he loses his inspiration. And towards the end of the game, obviously, you try and work things out, and you see what happens because of that. It's a very sweet game, very sweet premise, but over the course of 10 hours, the mechanics wear a little bit thin. Just like, I didn't find the 3D areas all that fun. I would have much preferred this game just to be like, honestly, a 2D Zelda game. I think, just having that type of adventure game with this art style would have been really cool. But it always sort of pulls you out of the situation, whether it's just because characters are talking to you all the time, or because like you're doing like quite simple puzzles where there are some like words you can interact with and move. So there might be a sentence towards, like, for example, at the start of the game, there's like a gate you've got to open. So you've got to like, I think you've got to move the word closed, and you've got to like move it around and eventually put open in there, and the gate opens, and you just move on to the next page and you progress that way. And it's interesting enough, but yeah, just over 10 hours, it's like, I kind of had enough. So it was a very long 10 hours, and I last few play sessions actually make myself play through it and beat it that way. But, I think just like Princess Peach Showtime, it's not a game for me. It's just for younger kids. Maybe if Lucas was a little bit older and it was like every week or every lunchtime or something, I sit down and say, hey, look, do you want to do a chapter of Plucky Squire? And he's helping me sort of move words around, and I'm asking him questions like, oh, well, what do you think? And all of that. I think that it might have been a better game just to play with a kid as a parent, which, there's definitely a place for that too. And that's a game that I very much appreciate, and I will appreciate a lot more going forward. But me just sitting down on the couch playing this game, just, it was a little bit simplistic in some ways and a little bit sort of boring in other ways. And it did fall flat for me in the end. And all I could think about was Princess Peach Showtime. It gave me a very similar feeling to being like a little bit frustrated, but mainly bored. Which is a shame because
a lot, for this game, it's a big shame because it was so much hype, wasn't it, going into this game, and people really excited for it.
Yeah, I don't think there was too much hype around it, to be honest with you. Like,
okay,
I was looking forward to this game. I think it just sorry about that.
No.
Yeah, I think just the idea of doing that over that amount of time, like, it just sort of maybe went a little bit too long. The mechanics didn't really have enough juice to them to go out across the whole game. Because just from the standpoint of like, all right, we're going to base this game around being in a storybook 2D and jumping out to 3D and being able to manipulate the words to affect what's happening on the pages. That's a great concept. Like, just straight off the bat as a like design philosophy, just without going into anything else with the game, that sounds really good. But it was just maybe not handled in. Well, I don't want to say not handled in the right way. It's just like I said. It's just maybe not a game for a 30-year-old. Maybe it's a game for a 5-year-old, which is great. Like I said, really appreciate that there's games like that out there.
Yeah.
There's that one. It's been a little while since I put these on here, so I just got to go down my list here on Twitter. And then the other one I beat was Copycat. This is a game by a couple in Brisbane here in Australia, and I saw this game at PAX last year, Josh. Do you remember the cat game from PAX last year, Josh?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So, that came out on Steam, so I played this on Steam Deck.
Yes,
and
nice.
It's a narrative-based game where you play as a stray cat. An old lady adopts you, and at the start of the game, you're like just going around her house, just causing mischief. You're knocking over paint cans. You're like knocking over your food. You're just being a prick of a cat, like just being an absolute asshole of a cat. But how the story sort of unfolds is the old lady, she's gone to adopt you because she's lost her cat, and she's going through some health problems, and she can't really cope. She's very lonely. She needs a cat, so she goes and gets another cat. But it turns out that her other cat comes back and looks exactly like you, and you're outside at the time. So you're at the door, and she's like, "Oh, look, I don't even know who you are," because she just assumes that you're the cat already in there. So that's where the whole, I guess, the name, the Copycat comes from for the game. And
that's cool.
The game's like a narrative experience about, trying to, I guess, remind her who you are and what it means to be a stray and the importance of an animal in a person's life. It gets pretty deep. It's
Okay.
It had some moments where I was like, I heard other people talk about the game and say that they cried. I definitely didn't cry. It didn't. It wasn't like It wasn't like a really memorable experience for me. I enjoyed the game. I think it told a good story. But yeah, it's sort of like I sort of finished it and went, oh yeah. I don't know. I just feel like I played like the dog game I played earlier this year. Oh, Christ, I've forgotten what it was. Let me go back a little bit here. Farewell North. Play through Farewell North, and that's like a very touching story about loss, and you play as a dog. That was the game that made me tear up in bed holding the Steam Deck. Yeah, this didn't hit me on that level, but I quite enjoyed it. I think it was, I think the most I got from it is just the whole idea of like what is home and the importance of pets and animals in your life and the role they have and what makes a home. I think is is a cool story. But
Cool.
I didn't cry, but maybe if you play it, Josh, maybe you will because you're a big cat person.
Yeah. Yep. And then it was cool playing this for a bit last year. I didn't get a proper go. I felt around it, sort of played a little and moved on. But and obviously an Australian game as well. So some extra motivation there. No, that's cool. Is it just Steam?
It's just Steam at the moment, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I picked it up. It's like $19 or something. So I'm like, I'm quite happy to support a indie developer here. That's for sure. Just doing cool things. And hope to see more stuff like that. Just people using the medium of video games in the way they should, where it's like you're interacting with the world, and especially how it makes you be the asshole, but then it makes you feel bad as the cat too. Like,
turns it on you.
Kind of interesting, yeah. And the last game I want to talk about is just Grand Blue Fantasy Relink. I stopped playing this earlier this year. It came out in March, but I went on the cruise, Josh, and then I didn't get back to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like an anime action game. There's like a whole thing with the post game, which I was never interested in, where like you level up and it's like an online co-op type of thing. But I didn't even touch that. Not interested in it. I just wanted to play the story. It's got like 12 chapters, and the game, like there's sort of a lot of lore in that I didn't look into, because Grand Blue Fantasy, it was a mobile game, and this is a AAA action game, and they sort of expected you to have played the mobile game, even though I don't think it was released here outside of Japan. So I'm like, I don't know, that was kind of a miss. I would have liked to be introduced to the world a lot more. There's like a lot of sort of glossaries and stuff you can look into when keywords come up. But yeah, I did work out sort of, I guess, what the main cast was about, and the story basically boils down to your main character, who you can choose to be male or female, and you can choose your own name, so they're just like your player character. You and this other girl, your life is linked, and that allows you to be able to use different powers and all of this type of thing. I'm just very bare bones trying to explain how I grasped it, especially since I played it so far apart, half the game. But basically, the girl who's I guess you're linked to, she gets kidnapped by this man, and you've got to go and find her. And how the story unfolds from there, I thought it was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it. What drew me to this game is just the art style. It's like a really nice, pretty anime art style, which I quite liked. So I had this on my wish list for a while, and I picked it up earlier this year. And playing through it, just the boss fights are really cool. And it was good for me too, because I get home from work and I was just like, all right, I did Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade tested me. But for this game, it's just like a hack and slash. And it actually had some really great assists too. I was playing on story mode. There was an assist, just the press square, and it just does all the combos for you. I'm like, tell you what, it's 9:00. I just want to sort of mush this before I go to bed. And I did. And it was great fun. I really enjoyed it. The final boss, I had to go and level up my weapons in that, because I never did that. I'm like, holy shit, this is taking forever to whittle down this bad boy. Because he had a state where basically you've got to hit him down a certain amount of times before he does like a one-hit KO attack. And I wasn't doing it fast enough. I'm like, all right, I've got to actually go and upgrade my weapons here. And I went and did that and went and slayed him. But yeah, and that, Grand Blue Fantasy, I really enjoyed it. Really great.
Okay, cool.
I've got like a bit of a post-game chapter to do, which I might do later on, but I think I've had enough for now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Get your picks out of it.
So yeah, I basically set it up. So my goal this year was to beat 50 games, and Grand Blue Fantasy was my 49th. So I've set it up for Zelda to be my 50th.
Hey, nice.
So yeah, that was the
idea. What was your goal for the year? Was it 50 for the year, wasn't it?
50 for the year, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it with 3 months to go pretty well.
Yeah.
Nearly.
I do have some games on there where I'm like, like, I counted like the games where I'm like, do I count them? Like, I literally count them, but since I've got this much time, I'm like, all right. So I've got like, I think like six games where I'm like, look, we can fill that up with like a proper game, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, one of them's like Alleyway, whereas like I played through like all of the levels and got to the end. I'm like, cool, that's a game.
That's a game.
That's probably the most egregious one, but yeah, I will fill that up with like a quote unquote, proper game, just to make the haters out there who are really monitoring my silly little self-imposed challenge here.
No, that counts. I reckon.
Yeah, well, I counted it. I saw Mario's face at the end. I'm like, oh, we're done.
Done. Correct.
Beat it.
Yeah.
We've beaten it.
Beaten it.
Yeah. So yeah, been playing a bit over the last couple of weeks. But yeah, I think, like I said, I didn't play much this weekend just because I think maybe I just needed a bit of a break. I think just a bit of rest just from work and.
Yep.
So we actually, I think on the weekend we started watching the Ellen DeGeneres comedy special on Netflix. We fell asleep in the first 20 minutes. So,
No, that's funny.
Yeah.
Ellen, eh? I thought she got cancelled.
Yeah, she did. Her whole stand-up's basically about so yeah, I'm back. I got cancelled, but
I'm back.
Yeah, she was trying to sort of frame it like, look, I got cancelled because I was mean. Like, oh, you never heard of anybody being mean in showbiz type of thing. It's like, you weren't just mean though. You're like a total prick to your team who made your show work. I think that it's not just being, I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm going to have to, maybe see what she says.
Yeah, well, I've got to stay awake for the rest of it.
I don't find it that funny, actually, to begin with, so I probably won't even bother watching it, if I'm honest.
Yeah, she started off joking about driving a car, and one of the jokes was oh, I'll put it in park, and then there's the parking brake. I'm like, do I need it more parked? Then everybody laughed. I'm like, yes. You probably need to put your handbrake on when you park.
I would recommend it.
Yeah, because look, sometimes Chantel always gives me a hard time. Sometimes because I got an automatic four-wheel drive, sometimes I just slap that bad boy and park, and I'm on a flat surface. I don't put my handbrake on. I'm a bit cheeky that way. And Chantel, I think she gave me a hard time when she heard that joke. I'm like, that's fair enough. But if I was on a hill or on the street, that handbrake's going on. And I started driving in manuals.
Okay.
Always a handbrake on in the manual because obviously you got no park.
You have
to. The handbrake's just been pulled on all the time, man. I'm pulling that handbrake up and down.
Oh, Drew, I worry for you. What if there's a slight incline and that's enough? You just always got to put it on, man. Just always put it on.
That's when your insurance gets tested out. For the domino of cars, you just go down the road.
Sorted. Done.
Dusted. Yeah. Anyway, anything else you'd like to touch on before we jump on out of here, Josh?
No.
Oh, good.
I don't have anything else to say.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
That's easy peasy then. Everybody.
Easy peasy.
Thank you very much for joining us for episode 288 of the House of Mario. Really appreciate your time here. Josh, let's start doing the hashtags again so people can let us know you listen to the episode, got to the end. What should the hashtag be? What do we talk about? I guess we do the echoes of wisdom at some point. What about Thom echoes or something like that? Echo Thom.
Echoes of Thom.
Echoes of Thom. There we go. Make it a full sentence. That's easy to remember. If you got to this point, leave us the hashtag on social media. That could be Twitter. That could even be our Discord channel as well. You can find that in the show notes. Give us the hashtag Echoes of Thom. And for those who don't know how to spell Thom, that's just the acronym for the House of Mario. That's THOM. Look at that. Crazy stuff. Some people have the acronyms just as House of Mario, like HOM. I don't know about that. I think it's Thom.
It's the House of Mario, yeah.
Yeah, it's the house. It's not just a house. It's not just some random boy named Mario who's like, I live here. It's the House of Mario.
Correct,
I guess. But thank you very much, guys. Until then, the doors of the House of Mario, they are closed. I have to take my cover off the roadcaster and
bye, everyone.
get it going. Bye, guys.